Lewis Hamilton's much-awaited Ferrari debut turned into a rollercoaster ride in Australia, where a mix of strategy blunders, traffic nightmares, and some good old-fashioned frustration left him crossing the line in a disappointing 10th place. And what's scary is that he himself doesn't know if it'll get better. Let's hear what he had to say after his first official race for Ferrari. What could have been a dream start quickly turned into a test of patience, as Hamilton spent much of his race battling not for the win but for position. First stuck behind Williams' Alex Albon and later struggling with an ill-timed pit stop that cost him dearly. For a brief shining moment, Hamilton actually led the race on lap 46 after his rivals pitted. But the glory was short-lived. A combination of traffic and a late pit call saw him tumble down the order to 9th. Just when it seemed like things couldn't get worse, McLaren's Oscar Piastri snatched another position from him on the final lap, pushing him down to 10th and ensuring that his Ferrari debut ended on a sour note. The rain always mixes things up, and strategy comes down to timing and a bit of luck, the 40-year-old said. We took a gamble and made up places, but then boxing too late for intermediate tyres, cost us, dropping us to the back of the top 10 with too much ground to recover. To make matters worse, Hamilton wrestled with keeping his Ferrari stable, highlighting just how much work the prancing horse has ahead if it wants to gallop back to the front of the grid. He added, I struggled with the balance, but it was an important race for learning more about the car and in different weather conditions, as well as gaining more experience working with a new team. Ferrari is gearing up to fine-tune its communication strategy after Lewis Hamilton's fiery radio exchanges with his new F1 race engineer Riccardo Adami at the Australian Grand Prix. But let's be real, there's a lot more to fix than just the chatter over the airwaves. Hamilton was always upfront about the fact that jumping ship from Mercedes after 12 years wouldn't be seamless, and his debut in Ferrari Red was a stark reminder of just how tough it is for a seasoned driver to dive into a completely new ecosystem, adjusting to different technology, strategies, and team dynamics. The most obvious growing pains were aired live over the radio, where Hamilton was clearly unimpressed with some of the messages coming his way. More than once, he shot back with a curt, "Leave me to it," signalling that he preferred to handle things his own way. But the real frustration hit when a strategic misstep, staying out on slicks for too long, saw him plummet down the order. We missed a big opportunity, he told Adami, summing up a tough day at the office. If Ferrari wants to get the best out of Hamilton, it's clear that refining their race day synergy is just the beginning. Their disastrous radio conversations went as follows. Lap 14. Adami, you can use K1 when you're close. Hamilton. Leave it to me, please. Adami. K1 available. Hamilton. Yes. I know, leave it to me, please. Lap 29. Adami offers DRS advice. Hamilton. Yes, I know. Leave me to it. I'm learning the car as I go, mate. Just leave me to it with the DRS. It's not an issue. Lap 31. Adami, try to hold the K1. Hamilton. I'm not close enough. I'm not close enough. When I'm close, I'll do it lap 49. Hamilton. Thought you said it wasn't going to rain. Think we missed a big opportunity there. What position am I in? P9, again. Adami, P9. Hamilton. After the race, Hamilton made it clear to the media that while he was happy to take a gamble on staying out, he wasn't told that there was more rain to come. I think Riccardo did a really good job, he said when asked about the communication issues. I think we're learning about each other, bit by bit. After this, we'll go through all the comments, things I said, and vice versa. And generally, I'm not one that likes a lot of information in the race unless I need it, or I've asked for it. But he did his best today, and we'll move forwards. Ferrari team principal Frédéric Vasseur also felt like they could have improved on a few things. We need to find a better way to communicate between the car and the pit wall, said the Frenchman. But we will learn from this one, and it's not an issue. After 12 years together, Lewis Hamilton and his Mercedes engineer Peter Bonington had built such a strong bond that they could practically finish each other's sentences. Their communication was effortless, built on years of shared success, trust, and an almost instinctive understanding. So, it's no shock that forging that kind of connection with his new Ferrari engineer Riccardo Adami won't happen overnight. Building that level of trust and seamless teamwork takes time, and plenty of race weekends. But it's not just about Adami learning Hamilton's preferences, like what he wants from the car and the kind of information he needs mid-race. The real challenge? Hamilton is piloting a machine that operates completely differently from what he spent over a decade mastering. It's an entirely new beast, and taming it is going to take some serious adaptation on both sides. I'm still learning this new car that's quite a lot different from what I've driven my whole career, he noted. In the sense of the Mercedes power coming to the Ferrari power, it's something quite new, Different vibration, different feel, different way of working. The whole team works completely differently. I was just sitting looking at last year's race traces, and it's upside down compared to the previous ones, what I've been used to. I don't understand it all. Carlos Sainz, who's gone the other way in the power unit shuffle, knows exactly what Hamilton is going through. He admitted he faced the same steep learning curve when adapting to his new setup. After securing 8th in qualifying, just behind teammate Charles Leclerc, Hamilton didn't sugarcoat the situation. He openly acknowledged that he still has plenty to learn about unlocking the full potential of the SF25. For now, it's all about cracking the Ferrari code and getting up to speed in his new prancing horse. We've been just improving every single lap, session on session, he said. Big learning curve this weekend. The car was so much different from the moment I left the pit lane, just feeling so much different than I've ever experienced here. And it's been a lot slower process for me to really build confidence in the car. And if you look at the high speed everywhere, I've been down all weekend to Charles, who just had it from the get-go. From just the minute he went out, he knew what the car does. And for me, I was just building up to that through the weekend, and I think I got a lot closer towards it in the end. And to be that close to Charles in my first qualifying session in the same car against a great qualifier, I'm pretty happy with that. And when elaborating on which aspects he struggled with the most, Hamilton said, "From braking just through corner balance is a lot different to what I had. Mechanical balance shift that you have is much, much different to what I had in the previous car. And the high-speed balance, the low-speed balance is quite a shift. So she behaves a little bit different." And when estimating how long it'll take for him to feel comfortable in the car, Hamilton made a scary admission. He doesn't know. I really don't know. Honestly, I thought I was further along than I was, and then I got here and practiced one. I was like, Jesus, I've still got a way to go. There's still a ton of tools that keep popping out, like, hey, what about this? I've never tried that. What does it do? And it's one thing saying it, but actually going out and feeling it. That's what I'm just learning, really, bit by bit. I think we did some good work when trying to move the car forward. When you have a problem in the car and you come in normally, when you've got the experience, you can say, okay, this is where I want to go with it. But I don't know which tool to use at the moment, so I'm heavily relying for the first time on my engineers, and they've done a great job. In the past, I would say, Bono, this is what I want, that setting, this setting, and I can't do that at the moment. Over on the other side of the Ferrari garage, Charles Leclerc was left wondering what could have been. The Monegasque believes a podium finish was within reach at the Australian Grand Prix, if not for a costly, late race spin that sent him tumbling down the order. He told the media, "It was definitely a missed opportunity. I mean, especially in those conditions when it's changing and that you don't have the pace, it's there that you've got to score the points and we didn't today. We were not fast enough at the beginning of the race when the race was kind of boring, and then once it mattered to make the right choice, we didn't. But the first one to blame is my mistake out of turn 11. Because this I've lost 4 positions or 5 positions, I think. And from that mistake, then it puts us on the back foot. And if you look 3 or 4 positions in front, then we are 3rd or 4th, which I think was what could be done. So yeah, but it's the way it is. Do you see Ferrari turning things around anytime soon? Or did we just get a glimpse of what's to come for them this season? Tell us your thoughts in the comments section down below. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thanks for watching.